Welcome back to US Tzu Chi 360. I'm your host, Dilbar Shatterson. In an essay written by sociologist Myra Marks Fair called Class, Housework, and Happiness, Women's Work and Life Satisfaction, she cites that the specific problem with the nature of housework is that it is fragmented and repetitive, and frequently acts as the cause of isolation in the home. Rather, boredom and lack of fulfillment is the main problem for women under these circumstances. What's more, they also face barriers with language and practical work experience in coming to the United States. A particular example of that is California volunteer Tzu Chi. Today, we'll see how she grew from a student to become a volunteer of the art of flower arranging at the Tzu Chi National Headquarters in California, where she instructs classes for children and older adults. We'll see how she turned another hobby, paper folding, into a way of giving back to the Tzu Chi Foundation. So, while biding her time with students of all ages and facing numerous health problems, including a stroke earlier this year, we'll see how Tzu Chi's efforts to add some much-needed color into her life have helped impact the community around her. So let's take a look.
I think it started after the Northridge earthquake. My aunt was already involved in Tzu Chi, but she was in New York. After the earthquake, she had the chance to visit one of the Tzu Chi chapters here in Los Angeles with my aunt. At the time, I was already going to college, and my brother was already, I believe, a senior or junior in high school. My aunt kind of encouraged her to do some volunteer work, and then after she visited, she started volunteering.
我那时候在学插花，去跟一个日本老师学插花，然后插花。
At the time, I was learning floor arrangement from a Japanese teacher. Some of my classmates were wealthy housewives with too much free time, so I was very passionate in sharing these audio tapes and told them what I was doing in Tzu Chi Foundation. I told them how great it was and invited them to join. Soon, I recruited many members.
那就这样子的话，我就很快的就募一大堆的会员啦。
She actually has a lot of health problems, and so I'm actually really worried about her spending so much time, doing all these things. So when my summer school started, she was telling me that she has a lot of flower arrangement class throughout the summer, and so I asked her to tell me the dates so that I could, especially set the dates that I could try to come and help.
One thing that I really admire about her is that she has the job has to be done attitude. She believes she can take responsibility for anything. She said if nobody else is willing to do it, I will do it. Others will say, I don't want to do it. She would say, I will do it. That really put everyone at ease, so we can plan out the classes for the entire semester with her.
She's very, very devoted with anything that she does. Anything that she decides to do, she's going to put 110% into it, and do her best.
She's willing to work and is very modest. She will coordinate a lot of people to help her. She brought so many new volunteers in. I was a little mentory at the beginning. I felt I had much to learn from her. Especially, her health is not great. Her hands always hurt. Her joint issues have been there for a long time, but she never let it be an excuse for her to not walk the Tzu Chi path.
After hearing those stories of transformation and awakening, I felt that I was a blessed person and I have to give back and serve more.
你有所长，发挥你所长的话呢，你就会比较容易进。
When you use your talent, you get to learn and absorb more easily. I am glad I got to join Tzu Chi. Like myself, I didn't know how to use a computer at all. From typing each word, learning Excel and the computer, I learned everything step by step, how to host an event, how to connect, and build a strong volunteer team.
那怎样去办活动，让人家说志工可以联谊？
Something I learned from her is that if you just really put your mind to it, then you could achieve anything. Because she was a housewife, but she learned so many things after being a volunteer. She learned how to use the computer. She learned how to type in Chinese, and she learned all about the, softwares, about the Word, the Excels, and, being her age, technology is not something that comes easy for her, but she put her mind to it, and she's, able to process all the, most of the volunteer information that's given to her, and so yeah, I think that she has taught me that if you just put your mind to it, you really could achieve anything you want in life. She had a TIA earlier, a mini stroke earlier this year, and I was very grateful that I was actually right with her when it happened. With the mini stroke, we just don't know when the real stroke is going to happen, and so we tell her, try not to drive too far, try not to go, get yourself too tired, but she's still driving all over the place, trying to gather all the materials for her flower arrangement classes or her paper tool classes. Yeah, she just can't slow down. Her personality, it's just that she's just so devoted with things that she enjoys. When she sets her mind on it, she just has to put all her effort.
有一次我带一个师姐来帮我搬花，她看我在那一直算。
There was a time that I brought another female volunteer to help move the flowers. She saw me there counting and mumbling, so she asked what I was counting. I said, I was counting how much each flower costs. She said, "You're a rich housewife, but you are very good at calculating."
跳卡，做少奶奶呀。
I said, being a rich wife doesn't mean I had to sit at home and do nothing. Other volunteers told me, "Tzu Chi, you are sick now. Why are you still volunteering?" I said, well, I cannot do anything else. Volunteering can extend lives. I just wanted to do something meaningful. I got hooked. I said our generation is like the roaches that can never be exterminated. Just like this.
就是这样来的。
Our teacher is the give-it-all type. If she promises to make a few art pieces for the auction, she will spend all her efforts to make them perfect. She is a perfectionist.
非常完美主义的一位很好的老师。
Our teacher is great. It's all thanks to her that we know how to make all of these.
Without my teacher, I wouldn't be here taking this class. I'm not a very creative person. My teacher always helps us prepare the colors and everything, and I work really slow. Thankfully, she is really patient.
然后老师还好碰到这个老师超级有耐心的。
She teaches us starting from our hands, from how to cut and what we need to pay attention to. She teaches us all the key points. When there are good artwork elsewhere, she will ask the students to learn from them. She is very dedicated and hardworking. If the artwork didn't turn out right, she will take it apart and start all over again. She strives for perfection. If it is not good enough, we take it apart. We hate taking things apart. It's harder than folding it. She is extremely patient and expects us to give our best. All the students have a great sense of accomplishment after the art piece is done.
都有这种感觉，做好一幅成品，我自己觉得，我很有成就感。
Let's give a clap to thank our teacher for her hard work this year.
所以就这样子，从人文进来，从
I started by helping out in humanitarian culture, charity, and then medicine and education. In medicine, I helped with some international disaster relief. From a housewife who didn't know anything, I am now able to serve in all the 4 missions and 8 footprints in Tzu Chi. I did recycling and community service. I also designed training programs for the volunteers. I think I've done almost everything.
所以我也觉得说，我几乎什么都做过了。
I always tell people, it's okay that you don't know it now. If you're willing to learn, you can do anything.
都会。我都会跟我家人说，我现在年纪有了，当然你们也为我的健康着想，希望我能够。
I told my family I'm getting old. They're concerned about my health and want me to take it easy. But I have nothing to do at home. All my kids are married, and my grandson goes to school.
虽然有孙子，可是孙子也要上学了啊。那我在家里做什么，倒不如让我出来跟人家互动，做一些有意义的事情。所以从什么不会到现在做了很多都是。
Doing volunteer work and learning is good. So I always encourage people to come out and volunteer. It's fine if you don't know anything or if you are old. As long as you are willing to serve and learn, you can use your talents and help.
可以发挥你的良能，发挥你的功。
他中的。
I think after today, I really learned that how much effort and time that she spends in each one of her classes. I mean, even though most of her classes are just like today's class is like 50 minutes and other classes are maybe 2 hours, but she spends the whole week, just preparing for all these classes. Even though it's like she just has a few classes here and there during the week, but it's pretty much it became a full-time job for her that, she spends all her time, trying to prepare, trying to make things easier for her students and trying to get everything ready for her students. I would think that she wants to volunteer for the rest of her life and then devote the rest of her life in Tzu Chi. I think that's probably her dream.
Luca Ye works as a full-time media volunteer, recording various events and traveling with our team to cover special happenings for Tzu Chi. When his wife was transferred from Taiwan to the US for work, Luca, much like Tzu Chi, had a lot of time on his hands. In Tehran, he ran a bookstore, but after coming to the US, he decided to take on a new challenge. He taught himself how to film and how to edit using professional editing software and upload content to our TV station, Daai, in Taiwan. And after just a year of joining the media team, he's gotten around quite a bit, to California, to Arizona, and even to Haiti. So now, as you meet him, we'll see how he uses his camera sense to help share Tzu Chi's infinite stories.
I believe if one makes a good vow to express your will to be responsible for a task, the chance will appear right in front of you.
If we have some tasks that require his expertise, we don't need to ask twice. He never says no.
Whatever the task, if we ask Brother Ye, could it be the first to open the door? He will be the first to arrive in the morning.
No matter what the media volunteers need, his care for the details make him a very heartwarming person.
In Tzu Chi, he simultaneously achieved two things. First, he does things that makes him happy. Second, he does the right things, the good things. That is the reason why he became so involved.
The Jingsa aphorism I gave to myself is, the more you do, the more you gain. The less you do, the more you lose. I wish to contribute as much as I can while I can. This is what I want to do.
This is a farewell party held by West Coast media volunteers for Luca Ye. 3 years ago, Luca moved to Los Angeles with his wife because of her job relocation. Since then, Luca has extensively volunteered in documenting Tzu Chi activities. Enthusiastic with photography, he received a surprise gift from Morgan Xu, a tripod.
So I had made my vow, and I am willing to be responsible for tasks given as best as I can. I didn't get involved in Tzu Chi when I first arrived in the United States because I did not understand how to get involved with the documentation team. US Tzu Chi 360 was beginning to launch. The volunteers were working on the segment Footprints. The first episode was Li Zi Xiang. After the first episode, Brother Morgan invited me to help out as a documentation volunteer. After that, I started to get more and more involved.
The first impression he gave me was very down to earth. If you have anything that you need him to help with, he's always a good sport and doesn't say no. He will just do it.
The first time I met him in a U.S. Tzu Chi headquarters, the first impression he gave me was he's quiet and focused on his tasks. For a year or two, I have observed that he takes initiative and is willing to help others, and he does not talk much. We had a common ground. We can make this chapter more vigorous. At the time, I truly believed he was such a good apprentice of Master Chen Yan. Luca would do anything within his ability to make this chapter more vigorous and more well known by the community. He is truly our example to follow.
For the past few years, in our media volunteer team, I've always shared with everyone how Luca is such a diligent and serious person, and that he fulfills the lecturer's request on formatting completely. As for passing on his knowledge, when we asked him to teach a lesson for a photography class, he really put his heart into preparing the lecture. During the class, he attentively and thoroughly explained the material to the students so they could clearly understand the material.
Once you get started, you just start doing more and more. There is less work to be done in Taiwan than in the United States. In the US, there is more work than can be completed, so it just accumulates over time. No matter the size of the task, you just do it. Pretty soon, more and more of your hair turns white.
Maybe due to the workload, I remember vividly he used to share a few words with me, mainly telling me the task on his list has accumulated to here.
We have completed more than 90% of the documentation requests we had in the West Coast. More than half were completed by him.
Not only he works for his community, the office, but also for other states like Arizona and even Haiti. Everyone truly admires his spirit. He is our role model for the 3-in-1 group. He devotes himself quietly, so it's truly a blessing that we can work with him.
In the beginning, people would laugh at me. It was scary how many photos I took, and yet very few of them were usable. Gradually, I lowered the number of photos I took. Learning to take less pictures was a maturation process, one that I really enjoyed. The first thing was to control the desire to press the shutter. With more experience, I was actually able to formulate ideas on what photos I should take. After the Buddha bathing event, I had the opportunity to go to Haiti for 8 days. I learned a lot during my time in Haiti. I remember Sister Yongli sharing about how when she first visited Alexandra's church, it was a place for storing cadavers, and she saw a skeleton on the wall. The way she told her experience stirred my imagination. It made me want to cry. Maybe because in that atmosphere, I felt if we could make some effort to document and to show and let others know how difficult it is in Haiti, we could inspire others to lend a hand to help Haitians get back on their feet. If we can achieve that, I think we have done our job as documentation volunteers.
Since the El Monte chapter that Luca goes to is right next to his wife's office, dropping off and picking her up becomes the most important task in his daily routine. However, after they get home, Luca still needs to finish his pile of work.
Every day, our interaction would be she watches her video, I watch mine. Each of us does our own thing, and we continue that pattern till bedtime. I think this affects our health. I feel that my health has become worse. You can see it from the amount of white hair. I used to like exercising a lot, but since joining the documentation team, I stopped exercising, and my body started to grow horizontally. My wife thinks I work too much, and I should slow down and work wisely, not blindly.
He has to take care of his body. I think volunteering in Tzu Chi is something we should do. I know it makes him happy, that is why I encourage him to do it. But I also wish he would take care of his body, because only with a healthy body he can continue to do good deeds.
The biggest change is his white hair. I first thought he was still very young. But now, age has left some marks on him.
He spends most of his time as a Tzu Chi volunteer, which is good. Before he joined Tzu Chi, he was afraid to try a lot of things. He was very timid when facing strangers. However, this changed after he joined Tzu Chi. Because originally he would come off as a very shy person. But after being in Tzu Chi, I think the environment has made him more cheerful.
When he interacts with others, he will tell jokes. He will listen attentively, and he will discuss and share with others. As a matter of fact, there really is a difference.
Between the two of us, if only one of us is able to do the thing they like, then I'd rather that person be my husband. I'm happy when I see him happy. I can be lazy and slow sometimes, but my husband, he strives for success on things he likes and things he cares about. That is also one of the reasons why I admire him.
There's one sentence she said that touched me. She said she will take care of making the money so that I can take care of bringing in the good karma. I wish to do more so that I can receive double the amount and transfer the good karma to her for her unconditional support.
You need to take care of your body.
Just do Tzu Chi the best as you can, but also remember to take care of yourself. If he can spend the time to take care of me, that would be even better. Oh, my husband's so sweet. You know, many people say we're so in love with each other, and I must be very relaxed at home, since you would take care of things. But I tell them, how is that possible? My husband is at Tzu Chi every day. How can I enjoy quality time with him? When he is always at Tzu Chi, who is going to take care of things at home?
You can enjoy it too.
Thank you.
Abiding to the media volunteers' spirit of being the first and leaving the last, Luca Ye did not waste any time during his 3 years in the US. He documented many of the footsteps of the Tzu Chi volunteers, and as his wife provided him with her full support, he was able to achieve great progress on the Bodhisattva path. For Tzu Chi, we see that the love that she puts into teaching flower arranging and paper art helps give her an exciting reason to look forward to the rest of the week. And for Luca Ye, the chance he has to share his visual experience through his videography helps make his short stay in the States all the more purposeful. Thanks for joining us on the special profile of our volunteers. My name is Dilber Chatterson, and I'll see you soon.
教育是社会的希望，也是国家的希望。
新开运转。
菜鸡代讲，我给你做媒人哦。啊，是要介绍迄个大木头，还是弟啊？不是啦，咱是做水电的啦。 姐姐，
那是这个就好啊。
安奈这么拄好，你哪来伫写？
真可惜，这个唔知是啥。
唔管啦，来介绍一个。
知下鸡蛋无？
我是下鸡蛋的同学。
我叫苏金江啦，我在做水电的。
新开运转，每晚8点。
感恩永裕居建设与大爱电视一同舞动美丽人生。感恩味全公司与大爱电视一同品味丰富人生。感恩黄祥建设与大爱电视一同创造人文建筑之美。
大爱电视向全世界问好。
自己所行的路，就亲像牛伫咧耕田，一只牛，一支犁，就是需要一个农夫，伊爱看着这支犁，赶着这只牛，安尼田啊，一区一区啊，爱犁互伊直。咱伫我步起来，才会水；流水挂起来，才会大。自己行过来的路，真正是坎坎坷坷，无甲啦真好行。看这只牛，经这区田。田哎呀，面顶啊，原来有真多的沙石呢。原来看看爱捡，看看爱捡，看看爱灌溉，看看爱种做地草等等，这都需要哦。从孙的爱利用心。用时间落去经营，当然我爱感恩呢，就是有这么真多人来帮我捡石头，有这么真多人来帮助我做参观，有这么真多人帮助我放水，帮助我插黄啊。手草。
1950至1960年这段期间，世界走向2个极端，美苏2大强权互争抗衡。这段期间，西方国家开始迈向经济共同体与原子能时代。1958年7月间，养父的猝然往生，让商人开始追寻人生的意义。为养父扶丧100日之后，商人兴起出家的念头，于是就在这一年秋冬之际，准备好随身的行李，离家而去。
我这个出家呢，是翘家，开头是翘家的，不是很顺利的出家哦，是翘家。那么离开了家，真的很多不可思议的，很多啊，比如说我离开家，其实呢，第一次的出家是又被抓回来，那是有准备的。所以世间唔免想准备啦，啊，准备呢反而会逃不成哦。我第一次呢就是有准备，你知道啊，我第一次吼是安尼宽干的吼，安尼大包细包哦，有冬天的，有夏天的衣服啊，都准备了哦，那就离家了。那一跑呢，就是经过修道法师的介绍啊，我就去实际进修营，就到那边去。但是呢，是被抓回来，第3天就被抓回来。你知道在逃的时候吼，那是多惊呢，就是看到人啊就怕，就是心里。